Hey everyone, Mark here from the windowcleaningstore.com. Today I want to show you a new product we have here at the Window Cleaning Store. It's the Ultimate Trad Tip. This is an aluminum extruded trad tip that would go into the top section of a water-fed pole. You'd open up the top pole clamp, slip this in. So any water-fed pole that's sold today that has a removable tip, this should be fine working with that, whether it be Xero, Gardiner, Black Knight, Magnum, Legend, any of these kinds of poles. And what you would do is then you would choose your favorite cone tip to go on there for doing your traditional window cleaning work. And so fully set up, it would look like something like this. Now I want to show you what makes this the ultimate trad tip adapter. One is that it is compatible with most of the major brands, Unger, Ettore, Moerman, etc. It will include this little spring pin clip, which is needed on some pole tips like the Moerman or the Ettore. You would remove that if you're going to be using it with the Unger tip. We are selling the trad tip on its own as well as in combinations with, like I said, with the popular cone tips. But it has another special feature which I haven't seen on most trad tip adapters up until now. And that is it has this long tab here that goes down just underneath this little base here. Now normally what would happen is you have your carbon fiber pole, you open up the top clamp and you would just slip the tip in and then you close it up. But without this tab, there is always slight risk of the pole adapter spinning within that top clamp. Well, with that, having that tab on there, what you would do is you would insert that so that it's on the in-between split part of where the clamp is, so that when you do clamp it closed, there's no way for that trad tip to spin, because the tab is in between, like I say, the two sides, the two slots, or space in between where the clamp closes up. That makes it nice and tight. One of the other good things about this kind of ultimate trad adapter versus other adapters we've sold in the past is if you've noticed that when you attach the cone tip, whether it's an Unger cone tip or Moerman or etc. I'll just take this off for a second. You'll notice that there's kind of like a seat for this thing to sit in. And what that means is once you've snapped this in place, there's very little gap between the bottom of that trad tip and where that base is. So this thing isn't, if it gets a little loose, it's not going up and down, it's not acting all loose. In fact, the Moerman here is even more solid. It's making a snug contact with that base. So it feels very, very rugged, very, very firm. The Ettore, you may notice here, there's just a little bit of a gap, but it's not too bad. And these trad tips, they're not too long, they're not too weighty, they're pretty lightweight, won't add too much top heaviness to your pole for doing traditional pole work. Now you can use them, like I said, with trad poles, carbon trad poles, but of course you can turn your water-fed pole into a trad pole using any of these tips, provided that, of course, the water-fed pole that you do have does have a removable tip when you open up that top clamp. Anyway, check it out, the Ultimate Trad Tip here at the windowcleaningstore.com.